Hello students, welcome to English class. Today I have taken up one of the poem from your Beehive textbook. The name of the poem is On Killing a Tree, written by Jeev Patel. About the author, Dr. Jeev Patel is one of the prominent Indian poets. His famous works include Evening, Forensic Medicine and From Bombay Central. He has also penned 3 plays. He has been conducting a poetry workshop in Rishi Valley School for more than a decade. This poem is taken from his poetry collection Poems published in 1966. You must have observed people cutting down trees. But can they kill a tree? Is it easy to do so? Let's read the poem and find out what the poet says on killing a tree. Let's start with the summary of the poem. It takes a lot of effort to kill a tree. A tree is a strong, majestic creature. The tree has grown strong by feeding from the earth's soil. It has also observed years of sunlight, air, and water. A mere stab of a knife will not kill a tree. The tree also has sprouted leaves from its leprous hide. The phrase leprous hide refers to the discoloration on the bark of the tree. The poet here compares the spots on the tree to the marks of a person suffering from leprosy. So one is free to cut a tree, but such an act will not kill a tree. The tree will heal from his hurt. It will grow new branches and grow back to its former size if left unchecked. For the tree to die, one must pull out its root. The earth sustains and protects the root. The root is the source and essence of the tree's strength. The root needs to be roped, tied, and then pulled out from its earth cave. Only then will the source of the tree be exposed. Once removed from the earth, the root must be left out in the open where the sun can burn it. Without moisture, the root will brown and harden. Then it would twist and finally wither away. And then the killing of a tree will be complete. The poet here is making a negative argument. By describing the process of killing a tree, the poet is trying to shock and disgust the reader. In doing so, he is indirectly asking them to save trees. Now, before the explanation of each stanza, we should remember these points. First, this poem is in third person narrative. This poem is written in free verse, means there is no rhyme scheme. Metaphor has been used by the poet. Personification and alliteration, these are the poetic devices used by the poet in the poem. Stanza 1. It takes much time to kill a tree, not a simple jab of the knife will do it. It has grown slowly, consuming the earth, rising out of it, feeding upon its crust, absorbing years of sunlight, air, and water, and out of its leprous hide sprouting leaves. Explanation of these lines. The poet tells us that killing a tree is not easy. It is very time consuming. The jab of a knife or an axe or chopping off a bow is not enough to bring a tree down. These jabs may inflict pain on the tree, but the pain is not enough to kill it. A tree grows straight out of the earth, nourishing itself on the nutrients found in the earth, along with years of sunlight, water, and air. Stanza 2. So hack and chop, but this alone won't do it. Not so much pain will do it. The bleeding bark will heal, and from close to the ground will rise curled green twigs, miniature boughs, which if unchecked will expand again to former size. Explanation is, even though the bark looks irregular and scaly, leaves and branches sprout of it. The bleeding bark, the part where it has been wounded or where a bough is chopped off, will heal with time. New green twigs will grow again. Boughs chopped off will be replaced by new boughs, which will grow into their former size. Stanza 3. No, the root is to be pulled out of the anchoring earth. It is to be roped, tied, and pulled out, strapped out, or pulled out entirely out from the earth cave, and the strength of the tree exposed, the source white and wet, the most sensitive hidden for years inside the earth. Explanation is, the poet explains how a tree could be killed. He says to kill a tree, its root has to be pulled out. The root, which is the source of a tree's life, must be pulled out of its cave in order to mortally harm the tree. By earth cave, the poet means the point deep inside the earth, where the root is attached. Once the center, the life source, the root is exposed, the tree becomes vulnerable. The source is described as white and wet, probably alluding to tree sap, which is a white liquid. Stanza 4. Then the matter of scorching and choking in sun and air, browning, hardening, twisting, withering, and then it is done. Explanation is, the exposed life source, which when left open to the sun and air, will be scorched due to the heat, and the air won't be able to reach the scorched places to revive it of the heat. Slowly it will start to become brown with the softness fading out, leaving a hard, lifeless remainder behind. With time, it will start to wither, become dry, and bent out of shape, leaving a corpse where a tree used to be. In short, the exposer will leave the root vulnerable to all vagaries of weather, which will ultimately weaken the tree and kill it. The central idea of the poem is that trees should not be killed. It takes a tree a very long time to grow. It is not easy to kill it. Just cutting a branch will not kill it because it will grow again. A great deal of effort is needed to kill it. It has to be roped, tied, and pulled out from its root. When the roots are exposed, they gradually wither away in the sun and open air. Finally, the tree dies. So, this is all about this poem on killing a tree, written by Jeev Patel. If you have any query related to this poem, feel free to ask. Thank you. Stay home, stay safe.